Here we are with our Roland JV-1080 Sound Module. We're going to go through the process of choosing sounds and assigning those sounds to your MIDI channels. So we'll turn it on. And when we first turn on the machine, we are in patch mode. Patch mode will allow us to use a single MIDI channel with one sound or a stack of sounds assigned to that one MIDI channel. We need to be in a multi-timbral mode, and the multi-timbral mode on most Roland instruments is the performance mode. So we'll go here to performance. Once we're in performance mode, the performance we want to be in is the user 01 McNallySmith performance, which allows us to use all 16 MIDI channels. So it allows the machine to be fully multi-timbral, utilizing all 16 MIDI channels. Any other performance, any of these others, might not necessarily be able to use all 16 MIDI channels. And the reason not all of them may be able to use all 16 MIDI channels is that oftentimes in performances, multiple sounds are assigned to the same MIDI channel. And that's because of the way the JV-1080 is set up internally. It has what are called parts, 16 parts. And of those 16 parts, multiple parts could be assigned to the same MIDI channel. Each part is like a player in your band, so each part can have a different sound assigned to it, but then those sounds could all be played by the same MIDI channel. It's a little bit confusing. For example, the user 10 Flying Jazz performance. If we go in and take a closer look at it, we find that it has the first 8 parts assigned to MIDI channel 1, and actually parts 6, 7, and 8 aren't even turned on. We want to be in the user 01 McNallySmith performance. Once we are in this user 01 McNallySmith performance, we can assign 16 different sounds to each of the 16 different MIDI channels. To do that, we have two options. Our first option is to go into the part menu, and we do that by hitting parameter, then part. Part is in blue. Anything associated with performance here, because performance is in blue, any of the words below our numbered buttons in blue correspond to the performance mode. So again, we hit parameter and then part, which is number 4. Once we're in part, we need to hit parameter again to get us out of the parameter selection mode. Now each of our numbered buttons represents a MIDI channel, and it represents a MIDI channel because in this user 01 McNallySmith performance, I've assigned each part to its corresponding MIDI channel. So part 1 corresponds to MIDI channel 1, part 2 to channel 2, part 3 to part 3, and so on. We have 8 buttons, which allows us to access the first 8 MIDI channels. To get to the second set of 8, we need to hit the 1 through 8, 9 through 16 button. Now the buttons are representing channels 9 through 16. So to change a sound, let's say I want to change the sound on channel 5. I hit the 5th button, which shows me that currently part 5, or MIDI channel 5, has the sound 64 voice piano, which is sound number 1, program change number 1 in the bank or group of preset A. So to change my sound, I would first choose a bank or group between user, preset A, preset B, preset C, general MIDI. Then once I find a bank that I might want to use, I cursor over using the cursor buttons, cursor over to number, and change my sound. So I'm using here group preset B or bank preset B, number or program change number 36, the untamed bass. So that was the first method for choosing sounds. The second method is to again hit parameter and again hit part, but now hit the palette button. Palette allows us to look at 8 channels at a time, or 8 parts at a time. And then we cursor up or down to go between looking at the banks on 8 channels or the number of the sound, program changes on 8 different channels. And again, to access the second group of 8, we hit the 1 through 8, 9 through 16 button to get to the second set. So there it is, basic navigation through the Roland JV-1080 in order to change sounds on your various MIDI channels. Next time we'll go through how to save your bank select and program change messages in your sequencer.